They told her the letter was worthless, that a girl from Ogbomoso had no business at the University of Ibadan, that her place was behind a market stall, not inside a lecture hall. Her own cousin, the woman who had promised her mother on her deathbed that she would see Amara through school, took the scholarship money, bought a hair salon, and told everyone Amara had failed the entrance exam. She didn't fail. She had the highest score in her district, but her cousin burned the evidence, and for 3 years, Amara believed she was stupid, until the day she found the ash. Amara's mother, Ngozi, had a cough that wouldn't leave. For 2 years, it ate her from the inside. On the morning she knew she wouldn't see another sunset, she called her niece, her late sister's daughter, Chinaza, to the bedside. Amara, you have a salon in the city. You have a husband. Amara is 16. Promise me you will finish what I started. Promise me she will wear a graduation gown. Chinaza took her aunt's hand. She looked into Amara's eyes. She promised. 3 weeks after the burial, Amara boarded a bus to Lagos with her mother's Bible, 2 wrappers, and a heart full of trust. Chinaza met her at the park with a smile that showed too many teeth. Welcome to your new life, little cousin. From today, you are my responsibility. Amara thought those were the most beautiful words she had ever heard. She would later learn that in Chinaza's mouth, responsibility meant servant. The room was 6 feet by 8. It smelled of relaxer chemicals and stale water. There was no window, there was no fan. There was a mat, a bucket, and a broom. Chinaza's husband, a man who only came home to eat and complain, looked Amara up and down. She's too skinny to be useful, he said. She'll grow, Chinaza replied, and she works for free. That night, Amara lay on the concrete and listened to the salon music vibrating through the wall. She told herself it was temporary, that Chinaza was preparing her school documents, that in a few weeks she would be in a classroom again. She waited. She swept. She washed hair until her fingers cracked from the chemicals. She waited 1 year. The salon work wasn't enough. Chinaza started sending her to the market before dawn to sell tomatoes and peppers. Amara would return by noon, wash salon towels until her hands bled, then return to the market until nightfall. She was 17. She looked 30. One evening, a customer at the salon, a university lecturer with kind eyes, asked Amara why she wasn't in school. I failed my exams, Amara said. The lie Chinaza had fed her so many times, it tasted like her own truth. The lecturer frowned. That's strange. I saw the district results. There was a girl from Ogbomoso who scored exceptionally. Amara something. Amara's hand stopped moving. Adeyemi, she whispered. Amara Adeyemi. The lecturer's eyes widened. That was you? But your cousin told everyone you... Chinaza appeared from nowhere. She grabbed Amara's arm so hard, her nails drew blood. My cousin is confused, Chinaza laughed. She's simple-minded. Don't fill her head with nonsense. That night, Chinaza beat Amara with a belt for the first time. You will never embarrass me like that again. You failed. You are stupid. Say it! Amara said it. But that night, for the first time, she didn't believe it. 3 months later, Chinaza sent Amara to burn the salon's trash. As she stirred the fire, A corner of paper refused to turn to dust. She pulled it out. Amara didn't scream. She didn't cry. She sat by that fire until it died, holding the fragment against her chest. And something hard and ancient woke up inside her.
She began to watch Chinaza, not as a victim watches an oppressor, but as a student watches a subject.
She learned that Chinaza kept her important documents in a locked box under her bed. She learned that the key hung on a chain around Chinaza's neck, but she removed it every Sunday during her 3-hour bath. She learned that her original admission letter, her scholarship certificate, and 3 years of letters from the university asking why she hadn't registered were all in that box. Amara didn't confront her. She didn't run. She did something Chinaza never expected. She started planning. Every Sunday, while Chinaza bathed, Amara took the key. She photographed every document with a phone she'd found discarded and repaired. She read every textbook she could steal from the university bookshop when the owner wasn't looking. She wasn't just studying. She was catching up on 3 stolen years. She learned that her scholarship had expired, but her admission could be reactivated with a formal appeal. She learned that the university had a hardship fund for students who had been displaced. She learned that one of her mother's old friends was now a dean. And she learned that Chinaza's salon was failing, that the money Chinaza had stolen was gone, that Chinaza needed Amara more than Amara needed Chinaza. She wasn't just studying. Knowledge, Amara discovered, was heavier than a belt, and it left deeper marks. On a Tuesday morning, when Chinaza was screaming at a supplier over the phone, Amara walked out. She didn't take the broom. She didn't take the bucket. She took her documents, her mother's Bible, and the 12,000 naira she'd saved in tiny increments over 2 years. She walked to the university. She didn't beg. She presented her evidence. She spoke her truth in a voice that didn't shake. The dean, her mother's friend, listened in silence. Then she picked up the phone and made 3 calls. By evening, Amara had a reinstated admission, a hostel room, a work-study arrangement in the library, and for the first time in 3 years, she slept without fear. Chinaza came looking for her 6 months later. The salon had closed. The husband had left. She needed someone to blame, someone to use. She found Amara in the library, shelving books. "Hiss, you ungrateful wretch," Chinaza hissed. "After everything I did for you." Amara looked at her. Really looked. "You taught me something valuable, cousin," she said quietly. "You taught me that the people who steal your future rarely look like enemies. Sometimes they smile, sometimes they call you family, sometimes they make promises on deathbeds." She turned back to her books. "You also taught me that a burned letter is not a burned mind. You should have burned me instead." Amara Adeyemi became a professor of literature. She built a school in Ogbomoso for girls whose families said education was wasted on them. She never saw Chinaza again. But every year, on the anniversary of the day she found the ash, she burned a candle, not to remember the fire, but to honor what refused to turn to dust.
Her mother's name. Her own name. And the truth that no one can sell what you refuse to surrender.